Your 10th place is your first decimal place. So if you identify that place, you want to look to the right of it, which is your 100th place. Is the digit 5 or more? It's not. It's 4 or less. So it's less than 5, I should say. So it's 2. We do what we call rounding down. So this becomes 89 and 7/10. All right, 7/10. All right, then we go to 2 decimal places. So I'm writing the number again. We are identifying now the 100th place. The 100th place is occupied, hundredths. This is supposed to be a rectangle. I don't know what happened. So the 100th place is occupied by 2, and we're going to look to the right of it, which is the 1000th place. It is 6, so it's great. It's 5 or greater. It falls into that group of numbers. So we do what we call round up. And I really should write some other things here, but I'm going to look at it on the screen when I'm finished. So it's going to be 6. I'm going to add 1 to my 100th place. My new value, rounded off to 2 decimal place, is 89 and 73 hundredths. Let's look at the screen, everyone. All right. So the average grade for 5 subjects, 89 and 726 thousandths. And then to the nearest whole number would be 90. Correct to 1 decimal place. I want you to pay attention to how I write it, because you want to make sure that you, whomever you're writing your answer to, understand where you've done your rounding off to. So I put 1D dot P dot means 1 decimal place, and it is 89 and 7/10. What I have in the bracket is how you call the number. Your visual representation is 89.7. All right, and then we have to 2 decimal places would be 89 and 73 hundredths. Because remember that a fractional number, a decimal fraction, is a part of a whole. So we say and. 1 decimal place is your 10th place. 10th place is your 1 decimal place. So let's just look at what we must identify. The digit in the 10th place. That's the first thing. You need to know where you're rounding off to. The next thing, observe the digit in the 100th place, and that is the right of the 10th place. Then, if there are 5 or more hundredths, then we round up by increasing the digit in the 10th place by 1. If there are 4 or less ones, should be hundredths, then we round down by decreasing the hundredths and all the lesser places, because you should know by now, as you move right, the value, the place value becomes less. If you move from left to right, you decrease by the power of 10 for each place. Good. So you replace all those with zeros, and the place that you're rounding off to, in this instance, the 10th place remains unchanged or as is. All right, so let us round off some more, guys. So here's another scenario. You're a meteorologist, and due to all the heavy rains, you have the need to account for the rainfall to the people of Jamaica. Using a rain gauge, or some may say gauge, you are reporting on the levels of precipitation. Precipitation may be rain, snow, sleet. In this case, we're talking about rain. In 4 parishes, as there have been much landslides and flooding. This is the data collected. So you have Portland, 14 and 57 hundredth inches of rain. St. Thomas, 18 and 365 thousandth of inches of rain. Then you have St. Andrew, 11 and 241 thousandths of inches of rain. And St. Andrew, you have 8 and 301 thousandth, yes, inches of rain. Now, please report your data to the 2nd decimal place. So you have these data, and they tell you that all of them must be reported to the 2nd decimal place. So let's go to the board. So we have Portland, and we have that data already. So let's just put in St. Catherine, which would have been 8, and this is all inches. I'm Just going to leave that out for now, but they're all inches. So if you're rounding off these numbers to the second decimal place, what place is that again? Exactly, it's your 100th place. So let's identify the digit in the 100th place for all the numbers that we have. 100th place would be the second place to the right of the decimal point. This is your 100th place. 100th place. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to identify the place you're on off to. So now let's look at Portland. What digit is in the place to the right of 7? Nothing. So already this 14 and 57 hundredths is in the second decimal place. So it stay as is. So 2, so you can write to 2 dp, and I'm only going to write it for the first one because of time would be that. So I'm just going to use an arrow to show you what the second decimal place is. So 18 and 365 thousandth, we look for the, so to the right of the 100th place is 5. It's great, it's 5 or greater, you round up. We end up with 18 and 37 hundredths. Then we go here. 1 is to the right of the 100th place. So we're going to round down. We have 11 and 24 hundredths. And then we have here, we have 8. To the right of it is 1. We're rounding down again. 8 and 30 hundredths. There you go. So now let's go to the board, the screen, to just look at what we have. So as I said to you, it's important that you put in the decimal place in which you are representing your number after you've rounded off. So as you can see there, I have 2 dp, and I would have done it for all the parishes. All right, there you go. So let's just look at that one last time. So you'd see it for all the parishes, and you would have realized that all the numbers are now, the decimal fraction there would be in the hundredths because you're running off to the second decimal place. Awesome stuff. What is the pattern that we're seeing here? You guys should get it by now, but let's go through it together. Excuse me. We identify the digit in the hundredths place. That's the first thing we do. Then we observe the digit in the thousandth place. That is to the right of the hundredths place. Then, if there are 5 or more thousandths, then we round up by adding 1 to the 100th place. And if it is 4 or less, we round down by decreasing the thousands, the thousandth, and all lesser places to 0. And the digit in the hundredths place remain as it is. Awesome stuff. So guess what time it is? It's time for some City and Guilds exam questions. Let us go through them together. The first question here is 436 and 468 thousandths with an S, written correct to 2 decimal places. So what place are we rounding off to? Exactly, to the hundredths place. So the first we want to do is, we want to identify which digit is in the 100th place. And what digit is that? Exactly, digit 6, the digit 6. Then we look to the 1000th place. And the digit in the 1000th place is 8. 8 is more than 5, 8,000th is closer to another group of, to one group of hundredths. So we round up by adding 1 to the 6, and our answer becomes 436 and 47 hundredths. And that is to the second decimal place. And that will be option D. All right, awesome. Next question. A calculator display shows 17 and 6, that is what, 679 10,000th, and that would be rounded off to 2 decimal places. So we're still looking at the 100th place, and the same thing. You look for the digit in that place. What digit is that? 100th place would be occupied by your 6 again, and we would now look to the right of that digit, which would be your 1000th place, which would be 7. 7 is 5 or greater, so you round up. And your new number becomes 17 and 700th. There you go. And I hope you're realizing that once you're rounding off to your second decimal place, it is now called your 100th place. So you know, once you run off to your second DP, your answer will be in your second DP. All right, so that's option B. All right, great job. Let's look at this one. The calculator displays shows this number, and you can see 13.1942. And that would mean you now look for what number is in your, what digit occupies your 100th place, and that digit is 4. Really? No, it's not. What digit is in your 100th place? 9. All right, but the digit to the right of it, as you can see, is 4. So we round down. Because it's 4 or less, we round down. And your new number rounded off to the second decimal place is 13 and 19 hundredths. And that would be option C. All right, so the next one. So now we're rounding off to the nearest tenths. It should be. So it's 1 decimal place, and it is your 10th place. So it's 52 and 69 hundredths, rounding off to 1 decimal place. What place are we rounding off to? Your 10th place, of course. And we identify the digit in your 10th place, which is 6. We look to the right of that digit, and that digit would be 9. It is greater than 5, so we round up. So the option now is 52 and 7/10. Your option C is your correct response. Awesome. Another question. 3 and 416 thousandths written to 1 DP or 1 decimal place is, and by now you should be hearing me running through your head over and over. Identify the place that you're rounding off to, the digit in that place. We're rounding off to the 10th place. 4 is the digit in the 10th place. You look to the right of it and you see 1. So you know if it's 1, you're going to round down. It's that simple. So we're rounding down, and your new number would be 4 and 3. 3 and 4/10. 3 and 4/10, which should be option B. All right. Great job. Guess what? We still have some more to go. What is 0.428 428 thousandths written to 1 decimal place? Doesn't change. We'll look for the digit in that decimal place, which is your 10th place, and that digit is what? Well, we just figured it out right there. The digit would be your 4, and then we look at the 2. The 2 would have been less than 5. We round down, and we just replace the other numbers with 0, and your answer to 1 DP is 0.4, or what we call 4/10.